Hello everyone, and welcome to Session 3 of the Lesser Halls game of Star Trek Adventures. My name is ELH, the Game Master, and joining me are three lovely, brand new role players to Star Trek Adventures. If you want to know the specific year and setting, we're set in my own custom little universe, the ELH universe. Roughly around 2416, 2417, somewhere in that nature. But I figure, since this was a two-parter, let's just go straight into play. So real quick, let's have everyone introduce themselves, and then we'll do a quick supplemental, and then we'll see what happens. So let's start with Drill and go around.
Hi, I'm Drill or Drillian. I play Ensign Keela, the Zahian engineer.
Hello, I'm Picardi. I play Ensign Shrez, the engineer.
Hi, I'm C4A, and I play Ensign Gemma Solaris, the Zabolian engineer.
There we go. A lot of engineers for some reason. I wonder why that is. Anyways, Cardi, I think Trill has the opening logs. Let me actually get the opening narration. And just to sort of set the scene as you're giving this log, since there was a little bit of confusion, let's make the official declaration as Keela and Solaris are getting the jellyfish out of the room. So they're in the process of getting the jellyfish out of the room. Maybe Thrill kind of picks up a tricorder and goes, supplemental log, etc., etc.
Yep, that's the plan. Standing above the one I've just taken out, Ensign's log, supplemental. What was supposed to be a tough but relatively routine task has become more complicated than we first estimated. We came in with this funny feeling, so we tried to be as cautious as possible. Though who would have thought that the ship would be hiding missiles and possibly other weapons, but also guided by a Cardassian missile guidance. Come, Lord. Yeah. Okay. The ship has been guided by a Cardassian missile system, which has entered the computer system such as a virus, and is more. And it's the possible cause for our loss of communications at the Phoenix. Just to make things more complicated, I start walking up to you guys who are trying to push them out, and then there's a guide to push out. Like I just do a big shove with you guys. These jellyfish called the Altia have been roaming everywhere. When they get angered, they try to zap you, and that has not helped me repairing this computer. Oh yeah, just to make things more challenging, the speed of the ship has moved from warp 1 to warp 5, changing it from 2.5 days to around 45 minutes, give or take 10, 15 minutes, if my old warp speed calculations are correct. I'm just about to ask my crew if there's any suggestions on how we can deal with this. Guys, is there any suggestions on how we can deal with this? Log out.
Love it. You can have a momentum for that. Why not?
All right.
But yeah, as you finally give one kind of collective push to get the jellyfish out of the room, you finally push them into the connecting shaft that connects all the cargo holds on this Antares-class freighter, and they go and do jellyfish things, but you shut the door behind them. You finally have the engine room to yourself. What do you guys want to do? Again, as a reminder, you have roughly about 45 minutes until you arrive at the black hole, but there's still sort of that question of why a black hole to begin with. So you're still kind of in the dark here, but you do have a pressing matter to attend to. But yes. I did want to give this time for you guys to roleplay because I feel like I didn't give you guys enough time in the last session. So I'm more or less going to let you guys drive the session this time rather than me drive it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right. As I'm in charge, I'll have to. I got some ideas, but I want to get ideas from you guys first because we're all engineers here, and some of you guys better get ideas than me on how you deal with this engine warp core. But I've got the manual here, and I've got some ideas. And I think the first step is disable this thing. Then I've got an idea how to get rid of the computer virus, but it might cause the ship to stop. And then the last part is getting communications back. But I think the first thing is all three of us need to get this warp core back online. Any suggestions?
Yeah, as long as we don't stop too close to the black hole and we can't, get out.
Is
stopping.
Is it the worst thing if we just stop moving?
It
Like,
could
can
be
we
if we're
just-
too
We're
close to
too
the black
close
hole.
to the black hole. Yes.
Right, yeah.
One
But
thing
we're
is,
not.
we do have a ship that's following us that has a very good tractor beam. So
Okay.
that is a plus there. Another thing is, if we don't stop anyway, we're going to be in the black hole. So let's stop the ship.
Okay.
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 How was it? How are you going with overriding that code?
The distraction sort of made it so it came a little worse. I've got another method of attack though that I want to try out. But I think I'm going to do a factory reset.
Okay. How can I help?
First off, let's get rid of this. I think all three of us need to do the warp core. I think we got to disable
Yes.
the reactant, both the antimatter and the matter reactor. The problem is we have to do this manually.
Nice.
All right.
And also, to make it worse, I'm guessing the Cardassian virus will want us to not do this, so the automatic systems will be against us.
Okay.
Rock and roll.
Let's do it. Let's get our hands dirty.
Okay. So the steps are, according to the manual, we're going to release at the same time the antimatter and the matter chambers, vent the gas overboard, and that should stop the system. But we've got to close them off before and then vent the plasma simultaneously.
Okay.
So, luckily for us, the core itself is separate from the actual antimatter matter reactor
Right.
chamber is separate than the core, because this is the old version of the ship. So it's a little set up different, so we can communicate and yell at each other quite easily. So who wants to deal with antimatter? Who wants to deal with matter?
I will do antimatter.
I'll do matter.
All right, and I'll make sure the core, I'll vent the gas from the core.
It's all right, guys. We all matter.
That means a lot.
All right, let's do this.
Let's go.
Just for giggles mostly, but where are you guys putting TM? Is TM gonna stay with Thrill or?
Question. Maybe TM should come, because TM could, like, if we need help pulling something or pushing something, TM could, like.
You might
Help.
notice that I'm getting angrier and angrier. I'm trying to repress it.
Noted.
and maybe not a little animal around your feet would be a good idea.
Okay. So we'll say for sake of argument that TM will go with Keela on this one. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to require two things. Actually, you know what? Let me offer you a choice, because I always offer this to other groups, and since you guys are new, I want to provide that same opportunity. So traditionally, what I usually do for roles like this is I either let you guys do a high difficulty single roll, wherein you just roll once, you either pass or fail, and if you pass, well, great, you finish the problem, you're big heroes. Or if you fail, you still can try it again, but obviously maybe a complication happens. That's option one. Option two is we can actually make this an extended task where we actually track the time it takes for you to accomplish the task. Now, the benefit of doing that is it's lower difficulty, theoretically easier to do, but time becomes a factor, meaning that if you run out of time, you run out of time. So what would you guys prefer to do? Would you prefer to do option one or option two?
Question.
Yes.
Has our determination, like, do we have a determination now that we're, like, in a new session?
Yes. You
Or
would
have we
it
spent it from last time? Okay. Because that would.
So we gained the two, one from chat and one from.
Do we get one from chat?
No, I don't see any
No,
redeems
okay.
from chat. You have one, I think you have one from what I gave you for the log right now.
Okay.
We had one from last game. Does that carry over?
Yeah, that'll carry over, so you would have
So we have
two.
two. Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
I don't
Two.
like timed. I don't.
Let's do the one big one.
Yeah.
Because we have our determination, we could use that for extra things.
If we want to do that, we'd have to buy one threat to get two more dice. We can get one. We can afford one dice.
Yeah, so the way it works, just as a reminder, is if you use your determination, if you wanted a third die, it would be 2 momentum or 2 threat, or 1 momentum, 1 threat, however you want to split it up. Because determination counts as a dice that's already rolled a 1. So I know it gets a little
Right.
complicated, but
Okay.
it's once you get it, I mean, even in Euthenia, I have to remind myself sometimes. But Yeah. Let me outline it, and you guys can decide what kind of dice you want to buy here. So, the difficulty is going to be a 5, but the good news is that you can assist each other on this. But the caveat is only one of you can assist the main roller. So one of you has to designate yourself as the primary, and then one of you is going to have to be the support. As a reminder, support's only rolling 1 die with or without a focus. And then what I would tell you is this is probably going to be a daring and engineering. I was thinking control, but since you are fighting a Cardassian AI, I think daring is an appropriate attribute to use here. So let's see. Daring engineering, difficulty of 5. If you have anything related to matter, antimatter, anything related to warp core mechanics, anything related to emergencies procedures, anything related to even
I got Starfleet Protocol.
That was the next one. Starfleet Protocol would be another big one.
I have starship construction.
Would
Got
be another
transporters and replicators, but dealing with energy of that variety. If we can stretch that.
I think in this instance we can't stretch transporters and replicators, unfortunately.
Okay.
But the starship construction I could give you because it's an older ship. I could give it to you for that.
What about jury rigging?
Jury rigging I could give you. Yeah, I could give you jury rigging.
Daring and engineering is my highest stats, so I got a 15 on the die for that.
Whoa, take it away.
Yeah, my daring is 8.
Same.
Engineering 4.
Yeah.
Oh, my guy's daring guy. All right, I'll take that. Who wants it? So only one assist, or can both assist?
Actually, I'll revise what I said earlier. I'll let there be both assists, but the complication range will increase.
Okay.
2.
All right, I'm gonna buy
just so it's so that you guys know what that is. If you both assist, I'll make the complication range a 17 to 20, which means instead of it only being 20, anything from 17 to 20 will be a complication.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to spend determination to get that friendly die roll.
All right,
already
start
set
with
up.
the 2 free successes.
I understand machines better than people.
Hopefully, yes.
And now I do still so I only got 2 dice then.
Yeah, so if you want a third, it would be either that 2 momentum or a momentum and a threat, or 2 threat. And if you wanted 4 dice total, you'd be giving me 2 momentum and 3 threat.
Okay. So was it determination 2 momentum?
Determination is an automatic success.
An automatic critical success, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. And to spend
It's not an extra dice.
Yeah, to spend determination, you just you tie it to a value. You don't have to spend momentum to use it.
Okay, cool. Well, then I'll use the 2 momentum to buy another die.
Okay. So rolling 3 dice total. Let's see what you get. And chat just gave you a momentum as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we're back to 2.
Well, no, you're back to 1 because remember
1.
the momentum, the third die is 2 in this instance. Yeah.
Right.
Oh wow!
Whoa!
Yeah.
Does he even need an assist? Wow.
Honestly.
Well, it doesn't hurt to get the assists.
Well, you say that.
I can.
Oh, yeah, if we roll a complication.
I'm gonna save it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it was a success.
It was all that research that I spent nights just going over actual technical manuals.
You did good, girl.
Yes.
So I think that's what we'll go with then. Is that Keela, you go to the left, Solaris, you go to the right, Thrill, you stay in the middle, coordinating, and you guys literally it's not like classic TOS where you're pulling levers and you're twirling dials, but it's pretty close where you're still having to do a lot of manual labor here. But with the 3 of you working together, shouting back and forth and timing your twists of the knob or whatever, the hum of the warp core begins to die off until suddenly you realize that there is no ambient noise anymore. I mean, life support's still going, but that sort of steady thrum of the warp core has died down until it is no longer a present factor. And the other benefit is that while the inertial dampeners make it so you don't actually feel deceleration, you can confirm that you're no longer traveling at warp. You've come to a full stop.
I know we're all thinking it, but I'll just say it. It's quiet.
Too quiet.
Too quiet.
Yeah, I hate it. I want to get this working as soon as possible, but we got to get rid of something first.
It's
All
better
right.
than getting into a
So-
black hole.
Do we get 2 momentum back from that?
You do. You actually get 2 momentum back, which means you should be at 3 overall, and you can roll your untapped potential.
Yes.
All right, I'll help there
Oh.
from untapping.
All right.
Up there. All right. So, I think the next steps is I try to do a factory reset of the computer,
Mhm.
and then at least one of you try to get communications back online.
Okay.
If somebody wants to try to help me with the computer, that might be good because last time
I will
screwed it up
assist.
like-
Yeah,
Excellent.
I'll assist
Okay.
with the computer.
I'll work on communications.
So, I have to ask a very important question, which I don't think has come up yet, but I find it funny.
Mhm.
How's everybody doing in terms of color blindness? Anybody blind at any colors?
I don't
That's a
think
good
so.
question.
No, I'm not. I'm sure
I don't-
this should be good.
Think so.
My character's not. I'm currently not wearing glasses, so I can't see, but it's fine.
There's not much information about Zahian, so I don't think they are
Yeah, I
blind
don't
to any
think so.
colors.
Actually, it is a Bedroom.
Well, the reason I ask is because most of this work for all 3 of you is going to be old school, like isolinear chips, where you're having to pull out certain colors, put the certain colors in different slots. So I wanted to, see if anybody had that in mind. And
That'd
if you
be
want to
funny.
retcon and say you do, that's perfectly okay.
How did you get through school?
Well,
Listen,
the new
we're-
computers don't
It's
do
the
that.
future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Listen,
Yeah, no, I don't.
This is TOS OSHA. This is before TNG OSHA, where they actually,
Yeah.
Does he have a pipe that says, what is it, like GNDN?
Mm-hmm. Something.
See
like
that anywhere?
All right. So the way this is going to work is since the warp core is off and you're no longer in immediate danger, this is going to be a control engineering. The difficulty is still going to be a 4, at least for the computer part. For communications, though, communications will just be a 2, so that's very easy. So let's do communications first, and then do the main computer, because you never know what momentum might help you here.
Yep.
So yeah, Solaris, if you want to give me a control engineering, you would have a focus here, and again, the difficulty here is 2. Okay, interesting. So you will succeed, but there will be a complication.
I'm still
Would you like to make
stressed.
the complication, or should I have one?
Go ahead.
And that's something I'm going to do, as we get a little more comfortable, is I'm actually going to let you guys have the chance to come up with a complication, because sometimes you guys have good ideas, and I want to capitalize on that.
Okay.
But yeah, Solaris, what happens is you go to, say, panel juncture C9, whatever, and you pull off the panel, and what you realize is that there's good and bad news. The good news is that the isolinear chips are there. The bad news is that the sudden deceleration has, for lack of a better term, knocked them all out. So they're just kind of lying in a pile at the bottom of the panel there. So you're having to pick up each piece and look at it and put it back, and it's just taking you time, is what it is here. And what the complication is going to be is that by the time you finish, you realize that, oh, that was a C9 juncture, not a C7 juncture. So you have to do it again. So what that means in a narrative sense is that the others are not going to be able to benefit from any momentum that you would have gained. So a fairly benign complication, just a time loss, but still, narratively, that's what's happening.
We can say I'm still stressed from earlier.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Returning to the others, though, tell me a little bit about how you're approaching the factory reset. Are you going to be literally isolinear chipping? Are you going to push and hold the reset button? Tell me a little bit about that.
All right, so factory reset. So yeah, probably isolinear chipping, finding the backup system and then just replacing it, and taking out the things, turning the power off, turning it on and off again.
So rearranging the chips to the factory reset position, basically.
Yeah. Basically taking out the memory and replacing and the hard drive and replacing it with a backup version.
Okay,
Pretty
right.
much.
Then yeah, I would say control engineering, and the difficulty will be a 4. And Keela, if you're assisting, remember it's the 1 die.
All right, I'm gonna take him. Another dice.
Okay, for 1
'Cause
momentum.
I think, yep. So that's one more. Okay, I can take 2 then. So I'll make it so I'll have 4.
Do I
Okay,
use
so
a
it would take-
focus here?
You can, yeah.
Do I have one?
And yeah, if you want to roll 4 dice, it would be 3 momentum total.
Yeah, we have just 3. Should I use it all? Or should it be or should we save some for the next complication?
I don't.
I mean, we've stopped,
We're not going anywhere.
so
Yeah.
save it.
All right. Also, let's take 1 then.
1. Okay.
So it's control engineering, 3d20, and
Can
I
I
have a
use
focusing.
my starship construction?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, yeah, you got to know where the factory reset hard drive is, as we're calling it.
Well, stop. Yeah.
All right, there's
This is
assist
old
from
school.
Oh,
Ooh, okay, so that's only going to be 2 successes with a complication. And I know we went over this last time, but do you want to challenge a value, or do you just want to take this hit here where your factory reset doesn't work?
probably take the hit.
All right, so, and this is interesting because, Solaris, you're just, you're over in the left side of the engineering room, you're doing your thing, when all of a sudden you're interrupted because a Cardassian voice begins to come over the computer system. Hasn't really vocalized up to this point, so this is kind of new for everybody, but a red alert also begins sounding at the same time, and the Cardassian voice says, "Alert, alert. Maquis detected. Eliminating Maquis." And coming out of the life support system, coming out of the vents in the room, a gas begins to roll out of it. And
Hazard
what I'm gonna
suits.
say,
What did you do? And does anyone speak Cardassian?
well, the good news is that your universal translators on your combat still work, so you still understand. It. That's the
Excellent.
good news.
Okay. Okay.
The bad news, though, is that what I'm going to do is for every round that passes, so we're not technically in combat, we're going to still go by rounds, though. Every round, I'm going to need a fitness and a security, a fitness and a medicine from everybody. And if you fail the fitness medicine, you go unconscious.
Oh, poop.
Excellent. Low fitness, but I think I do have medicine.
I have 10 fitness, but like 1 medicine.
Oh,
You still got a
I'm just-
higher number than I do.
Yeah, same.
So the good news, though, is that for this first round, I'm not going to require the roll because it's just starting. But what are you guys going to do about the fact that you now have who knows what gas venting into the space?
Keela's gonna whoop out her tricorder and identify it.
Okay. Keela, I'd like you to give me a reason medicine difficulty of 2. If you have anything related to, not xenobiology, but I could give you chemistry, I could give you anesthetics.
The only thing I have is escape and avoidance.
It wouldn't help you here, unfortunately.
No.
All right, hey, you get your 2 successes. So good news, it's just anesthetizing gas, which will just knock you out for a while.
Okay. So it's not toxic, guys. We'll just go to sleep. So we won't die. Don't worry.
Don't want to fall asleep right now.
It's still inconvenient. Yeah.
I want to grow where we store, just place the hazard suits in this room because this is where we.
Yeah. Can we put our helmets back on for?
Yes, you can. However,
Okay.
the complication that I'm going to use using a little bit of threat is that when you go to put back on the environmental suits, the sealed environment, what you realize is that in the process of getting the jellyfish out of the room, one of the suits has been punctured, meaning that you have 2 sealed environmental suits, but one is not a sealed environment. And to further complicate things, TM does not have an environmental suit.
Well, TM can fall asleep if it's safe. But I'm gonna grab one of the environmental helmets and shove it straight to now I can't remember names
How do
anymore.
we know? Like, do we know which one's which, or are we just pulling and hoping for the best?
I mean, you're capable engineers. You know
Okay.
which suit is broken,
Okay.
more or less.
Okay.
Keela will say like, okay, you guys take it. You take it. You're doing communications and you're the head, and then I'm just support. So you guys take it. It's
You
okay.
have-
If I fall asleep, it's
I-
totally fine. I could use a nap anyway.
I do pass it straight to Gemma automatically because you're doing communications. Are you sure? I know I go to you, Keela. Are you sure? Like,
I just no questions, man. Take it.
I've been doing terribly with my computer skills right now. Do you sure?
Yes. I
Alright.
look. I'm the mechanical engineer. You're the computer engineer. That's your specialty.
Alright. Just make sure you're just in a safe position when you fall asleep.
I'll do my best.
Helmet on.
So, Solaris,
Alright.
what are you doing for the round then?
I guess I'm donning a suit.
All right, which then
Um,
means, Thrill and Solaris, you guys get your suits on. You don't have to make the roll. But Keela, I am going to need that fitness medicine difficulty of 1 to see if the anesthetizing gas does knock you out. You're fine, actually. You get a momentum back. Very nice. So, yeah, you feel fine. Maybe a little bit lightheaded, but nah, you're fine. Everything's fine.
She's doing those like really slow closed breaths. Controlled, not like she's not gonna hyperventilate. Like
Okay.
she's controlled.
I'll say if anything later we can. I'll carry you out if I got you, fam.
Yeah. How would you
Alright.
like to continue to tackle the problem?
While it was bad, like I didn't get to do it before, I think it was mostly due to trying to rush it. So I think we're just gonna turn the computer off for a little bit, then try to do a factory reset while it's off.
Smart.
Yeah. So let's try turning this thing off.
So the good news is that it's to just turn the thing off, easy to do, but still going to require a roll because of the Cardassian AI in the system. So if you want to give me a control engineering difficulty of 2, and we'll let the succeed at cost. So it's still going to turn off no matter what you do, but just remember that succeeding at cost means that if you don't get the 2 successes, complications come into play.
Yep.
Of course.
All right. Again, take 1 more die. And did I get an assist still that you're still awake?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're still awake, so go for it.
I will assist.
Thank you.
It was control engineering.
It is indeed.
And can I still use my starship construction?
You certainly may. I know help on an assist, but you still got your 2 successes, which is what matters. So this time when you pull the plug, metaphorically, or maybe physically, who knows, this time there is an even more noticeable absence of noise, because when you pull the computer, you disable almost everything that the computer was running. So that's life support.
Life support.
That's the
Yep, I
grav
knew that was
plating.
gonna happen.
That's everything. The lights stay on because the lights are on a separate system. But
Of course they are.
as you turn off the computer, those of you in environmental suits, you stay anchored to the deck because they have mag boots. But for Keela and TM, who don't have sealed environmental suits, you begin to drift into the air a little bit.
Ooh. And she's just kind of like enjoying the weightlessness.
Like Solaris is like trying to hold down all the pieces that are like starting to rise. It's like, do you mind?
I didn't want to do it. I had to though. So just give me a minute.
Hila like grabs
Jeez.
a panel and like does a flip in the air.
Now that I
He's
got
like
it
doing
off,
that
yeah.
Scooby-Doo thing where he's like doing swimming motions through the air.
Yeah. And we're like holding hands and spinning in a circle.
It's like the ultimate air mattress.
Mhm.
Take a nap on air.
Yeah, what I would say at this point is, Solaris, you finally, you have to grab the piece as it begins to float away, but you grab the piece, you slot in the last isolinear chip, and almost immediately, you get a chirp on your communicator.
Yes.
can answer it. You just did to fix the system.
Okay.
I'm gonna check if the shields are still up.
Well, you disabled the warp core, so the shields are no longer up.
Cool. I was just making sure that wasn't a separate system that somebody hacked in, that made. So,
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, as you have to remember, it's an old freighter, so if they were to
Yep.
put something like extra shielding on, you would have noticed before you came over.
Yep. Cool.
But interestingly, it's not Captain Astier that answers you over the comm. It's a new voice. It's a voice that is Cardassian that doesn't make any sense. At least at first, like it's kind of the universal translators playing catch up, but eventually you kind of get Darewolf, I see what you're doing.
I relish in this opportunity.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where your universal translator kicks in mid-sentence, and what you hear is, well, I didn't expect Starfleet to have picked up on us this quickly. We seem to be in an impasse. You have what I want. You obviously want to get out alive. Why don't we talk face to face?
Hey guys, anyone want a rendezvous?
All right. Can I scan for our ship? Like, can I send, like, I can't, like with my little scanner, can I even sense our ship at anywhere, or is it
Solaris
away?
is going to ask, what exactly is it on board that they want? What was so important to risk sending to a black hole?
I think it would be best to say that in person. Looks like you've disabled most of the power systems. I could simply beam you away, but in the interests of remaining civil, why don't I beam to you?
Keela is floating somewhere in the room. She's going to quietly tap her badge and see if she can call the Phoenix.
You're still not reaching the Phoenix. You're reaching some unknown entity outside of the ship, but it's not the Phoenix.
Come over. We'll have a chat.
But guys, don't disable the gravity, anti-gravity.
And
We
they're
gotta
more
stay floating.
familiar. They're more familiar with this ship. It's more of their home turf, so they would probably have advantage on moving about.
Yes, but if we can distract them enough, our ship should be coming in soon.
I can handle the distraction. Trust me.
Be careful. This is probably going to be. This is not like a simple engineering thing. This is an armed Cardassian.
Yes. Wait, is the gas still coming in the room, or did that stop?
No, you shut off the computer, so
Oh, right.
that stopped.
Yeah, oxygen's going to be a thing. We should have a little bit of time though. Maybe a few
you've
hours,
got
but...
maybe about an hour, 2 hours of oxygen before you have to start worrying about it.
You guys got suits. You're good. Let him come.
So, once you've confirmed that whoever this Cardassian voice is can come over, there is maybe about a minute where you're like, are they coming? And then you see and hear that sort of orange, almost beige hue of a Cardassian transporter. And materializing in the space is just one Cardassian. He is in an EV suit, unfortunately. But he doesn't appear to be carrying any weapons, at least not readily. I mean, he still has, like, a disruptor at his belt, but he's not carrying it, is the key distinction here. And as he beams in, you see two very important things about him through the helmet of his EV suit. The first is that he's missing his left eye, and over that left eye is almost like a comical, like, eye patch. The second thing you're noticing is that his stature is a little bit lopsided, like he's favoring his left side more than his right side. And to further supplement that image, he's actually using a cane as well. So what that means is as he materializes into the space, let me see. Let me check Discord. Yeah, Solaris, you can do that. Any opportunity? Sorry, I'm just seeing that message on Discord. Yeah, you can do that. What I would say is, as the Cardassian materializes, he kind of stops. He looks around and he goes, Well, you've done quite the number to your own ship. That's very interesting. But,
So-
man. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, when he materializes, he's gonna see Thrill and Solaris wherever they're standing, and then Keela will have maneuvered herself to the ceiling and somehow hooked her feet into something, so she's actually standing on the ceiling. And then she's got she moved TM next to her somehow, and then whatever TM wants to do. And she has her phaser out ready, but not like I'm gonna shoot you, just like I have it. And then she's gonna be like but upside down on the ceiling.
I like it. I like a good mental.
Okay, Dracula.
Basically.
Good manage, yeah. Tell you what, I'll give you a momentum. That amuses me. I'll give you a momentum. There you go.
And I reply, it was better than being spaghettified by a black hole. And anyway, this is easy. This is like an easy fix for us.
Yes, I can see that you are quite capable engineers if you've managed to defeat the AI. Very well. In the interests of diplomacy, I will, what is the human expression, reveal my master plan or something along those lines?
As long as you don't maniacally laugh afterward, take it away.
Why would I laugh? I don't understand. What's the point of laughing afterwards?
I'm not sure. It's like a human thing. I don't know.
It's a spiel. I saw a film about it. I don't know. Carry on.
Right. Anyways, my name is Marak. I represent a element of the Cardassian civilians that are, shall we say, analogous to your, well, former Maquis. I don't know if any Maquis survived to this day, but the old Maquis, the frontiersmen, the separatists almost, if you will. And to put it plainly, our colonies could use what is on this ship.
What? Hang on here.
The
What the heck does a
Joe?
colony of people need with photons?
Well, we have to be able to defend ourselves.
You got the sheet. I mean,
Do,
you got
do
the.
you also need the Ultia? Is that?
Well,
Oh yeah,
yes,
those are
we-
farm animals.
Yeah, they're farm animals. We need them for their meat. We need them for their milk, power generation too, in a pinch.
That milk is really good, by the way. Not bad. Just saying. I had some earlier. And she'll stop talking.
So you want to take supplies that are required for another group that desperately need them as well, for your own use, instead of just asking for assistance.
That's the thing. At least as far as I'm aware, the colony that these any motions around at the ship that this is destined for or was destined for, they are doing just fine. They have replicators, they have energy stores, they can survive a misshipment. In my case, with our colonies, we don't have that luxury, unfortunately. We are not a part of your vaunted federation. We can't just ask for help. It's not that easy. Trust me, if there were a way to do this that would actually get us what we need, I would have gone through official channels, but this is very much a matter of life and death for the colony.
I settle up closer to names.
Hilarious.
Solaris?
Solaris. And say,
That one?
I am not a diplomat. What the hell are you gonna do?
Oh, I'm trying to negotiate. Hold on.
Okay.
And Keela will also be whispering because she'll be right above you guys. Should we see if we can contact the captain? Because we're just engineers. What do we weren't trained for this. We just fix things
It'll be fine.
or break them.
All right. Unfortunately, even though you're even we have spotted, we can do a discussion. We'll see what we can do. I don't know if we are able to give you some of these missiles though. That's something that might sort of be tricky for us.
Well, how would you suggest we defend ourselves? For example, if we do take everything but the weapons, what's to stop, say, your ship, I think it's called the Phoenix? What's to stop the Phoenix from just swooping in and taking everything back?
Well, if you do a deal with us, then we will make sure that it gets honored by the Federation.
It's awfully convenient that you showed up now after everything's been disabled as opposed to before, when you clearly have capability and means of getting on board.
Solaris, I'd like you to roll me a insight and either a command or a con here. And the difficulty will be a 2. And if you have anything related to empathy, anything related to people reading, body language, any focus
Observation,
like that,
negotiation,
yeah, I'll give it
people
to you.
person. Okay.
Give it to you.
Oh, the opposite of me.
All of the above.
Mine is only like machines.
3 successes,
Ooh.
you actually get a momentum
Ooh.
back.
Nice.
So I'm going to say something obvious, but then I'll clarify. He's definitely hiding something, but it's both
Sus.
good and bad. Actually, maybe more neutral would be kind of a thing. He does seem to be coming to you in good faith, but he does seem to have, or at least based on the way he's talking with you and the way he's positioned, he's not, again, going for his disruptor, but he does seem to have a backup plan, if that makes any sense. Like, if negotiations do not go the way he wants, you get the sense that he has something prepared.
She's gonna, oh god, do the environmental suits, do they have inner channels of communication as opposed to just there's only one way to speak? Because
No,
it's like,
you can communicate EV to EV suit in privacy.
Okay.
It would just
Okay.
mean that you couldn't get to Sequila, unfortunately.
oh, okay. Well, then I would tell Shiraz that he's definitely acting sus.
Good to know. I would have no idea. This Cardassian doing a normal, everyday Cardassian thing.
Keela, next time we'll work on our field hand signals and for next time. So
Yeah, we gotta practice that.
okay.
Keela will speak up. She'll be like, I have a question. Why can't we communicate with our own ship? That doesn't seem very friendly, man.
Yeah, and if I let you communicate with your ship, diplomats will get involved. And I get the sense that you all are really the people I need to be negotiating with, because diplomats are diplomats. They'll, what's the human expression? They'll mess with you 6 ways to Sundays, or something like that.
None of us are human. We have no idea what you're talking about.
You do realize, well, obviously you don't. We don't do words. Well, Solaris, but we're engineers. How are we? These are the conversations that I did not sign up for. And I don't believe we all signed up for initially. Solaris does a little bit of different stuff. But, like, how do you, in your mind, think we are the best people to talk to? That makes 0 sense.
Well, because you're going to be the ones that determine whether I have to blow this ship up, or whether you get to keep the ship and lose the cargo.
I didn't sign up for this. I just wanted to be an engineer. She'll say this mostly to herself. She'll just start to stress out.
Solaris is gonna like reach up and like tap the top of her helmet and be like, it's fine. It's fine.
Now look what you did.
I mean, like, and then she'll like reach for TM and just like hug TM. Just be like, I just wanted to fix machines, and now I'm in a political conversation, and I just like, now people's lives are in my hands, and she'll just continue to ramble.
So say we do give you what you ask for. What proof do you have that this other colony isn't actually in need? And what can you guarantee our safety? Like, can you guarantee our safety if we agree to your terms?
So Marak kind of thinks for a moment, maybe puts a hand to his helmet, and goes, in the interests of diplomacy, I will do this. And if you let him, he'll walk over to a panel and begin entering in a sequence into the offline computer. Now the question is, do you let him?
I think Keela would probably push off from her position, suddenly like back composed, like snap, like we need to do like officer, right? And she'll like kick off the ceiling towards him and just like open hand knock his hand away, and then like continue and whack into the wall or something.
I'll actually say I'll try to do that first and stop you, but I want to observe what he's doing, like being able to get into a position
you
where
stop
I can
me,
see
okay.
what he's coding.
Well,
I want to see what he's
maybe
typing.
what it is as Shraz is observing, if you see something that isn't good, that's when Keela comes in, and that's when Keela knocks them out. That's how we'll flavor it.
Yep.
Okay.
So, actually, it seems to be, Shraz, it seems to be one of those things where he is actively rewriting memory, but it's the memory you know, based on your computer expertise, is allocated to the Cardassian AI program.
Yep. Okay, so he's allocating, changing it. Okay.
Back to the same program.
Well, that you don't know. That would require an insight and engineering at a difficulty of 3 for Mr. Shraz.
I will do this. I want to make sure everything's good.
I want to fly across this room.
Yeah, maybe it's one of those things where Keela, you're kind of like shifting and you're pushing off surfaces and just using zero grav to like move around the room, getting that optimal angle in case you got to tackle Marak out of the way.
Yeah, I'm like prepping, ready to go.
Because it's 3, can I take a momentum?
Yeah.
Thank you. I won't be using as much. Like, I'm being more subdued with it, and I have focuses on computers. Please.
So I tell you what, I'll let it succeed, but there will be a complication.
That's fine.
All right. Hey, you just got a momentum as well.
Thanks.
So the complication is going to be that, yeah, he does seem to be on the up and up. He's erasing the Cardassian AI. But unfortunately, either because he doesn't know, or maybe he's doing it maliciously, you can't tell, he's also overwriting the navigational console. Like, more or less, it's one of those things where if he finishes what he's doing, the ship will no longer have an automated navigational system.
All right, now I'll try to stop him. Hey, I'll try to stop him now. Hey, do you know what you're doing?
So can I go flying across the room now?
I think we established that, yeah. So
yeah.
moment Shraz says that, Keela comes in and tackles Marak out of the way, and, he kind of oofs, and, that you don't go into like a ball, but, he catches yourself and maybe pushes you away so you go floating into the air. He says, well, it's this antiquated Starfleet technology. If you want me to disable the AI, I've got to get rid of the navigational stuff.
I think I'll.
Why wouldn't you say that then? Why do people just do things and not explain? Like, we're not in your head, man. Like, communication. Like, that's how you build good faith. How are we supposed to know? Just you start poking buttons. Like, bruh, we don't know.
We kind of need the navigation. I think I'll be able to fix it after a bit. I think we'll put you away from the computer. I can see that you're trying to fix it, so I'm seeing some goodwill here.
Well, in the further interests of goodwill, I will admit that I've already had my freighter beam off about 25% of your cargo already.
Yep.
So if you're beaming everything off anyway and gonna leave us the ship, why even use this ship? Like, why not just like take it and go in the first place?
Now see, there's the beauty of the plan. It's easy to steal supplies like a pirate or a raider, but there's a finesse, there's a masterpiece in orchestrating a way that nobody comes looking for missing supplies.
Insert maniacal laugh here.
I see what you did there. She just stares at the eye patch.
And I think, that one good eye stares back at you and he says, to put it plainly then, without whatever this maniacal laughter is supposed to be, by subverting this freighter and leading it towards a black hole, Originally, it was supposed to just be a navigational accident where, oh no, one of our freighters had a malfunction and flew into a black hole. Nobody needed to know that we were going to come along and take the supplies.
But they're not yours.
And it looks around wherever you are in the room at this point. Yes, that's. I thought we covered that.
And then she says that as she flies in front of them. They're not yours. That's stealing.
I'm gonna best talk over the comms. Do you know? Have we got any ideas of what to do?
No, I've just been trying to keep him talking, but clearly he's also a step ahead of us.
Yes.
We need to reestablish contact with our ship.
Can we do that through the suits?
I don't know.
Can we try without being spotted? Could we try without being spotted?
We can get a distraction.
I was gonna say, if you have a distraction.
And Keela's like in a ball floating behind you.
Could we
Just
set
like
up a situation?
shove Keela at the Cardassian.
Well, here's something I'll remind you of, because again, this is something very powerful you can do. You have 4 momentum right now, and if you spend 2 of it, you can create an advantage. And what that means is you can either inject a narrative element like, oh, yes, we can work on our suits in secret as Keela keeps him distracted, or I'm going to do X and that will help me do Y, if that makes any sense. So it's a very powerful tool you can use in situations like this to do what you guys are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We have 4 momentum.
Could I have made a situation before he beamed on where I had rigged up the matter anti-reactor to sort of do something that looks dangerous but not dangerous?
Want to spend your 2 momentum to create that advantage? We can, yeah.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking beforehand, thinking some sort of distraction just in case.
So, to borrow an old Calvin and Hobbes reference, you hold up a hot dog with a wire in it, and he thinks it's a bomb. He thinks it's a bomb or a dead man switch, but everybody knows it's a hot dog with string in it.
Yeah.
So we're spending the 2 momentum.
Yes, please.
Okay.
And now I'm going to act. Acting.
Am I distracting? What's happening?
I'm going to say distraction coming up. I have the little thing that I use to activate it, and I press the button. And then steam and stuff comes from the warp, like the antimatter reactor, and I go, ah, crap! All right, and I rush to it, and I try to, pretending to hit buttons and like pull levers and so, okay, I need you over here, quickly.
So that's going to actually distract Marak very well, which will give Solaris a chance to do something a little bit subterfugey if you want.
Since I'm gonna, I don't know if I moved away from the communications panel. I want to try to rewire or boost a signal to our ship, or perhaps, I don't know, try to tap into another frequency.
Ah, there you go. Why don't you give me a control engineering difficulty of 3?
Yeah.
You might want to spend momentum here for those additional die.
You said I might want to?
Yeah, because right now it's a difficulty of 3, which would mean you'd have to crit on 1 die to get the 3. So
Okay,
you probably
yeah,
want to
if
get
I
more dice here.
take one of them, guys.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Okay.
Do you have a focus?
Jury rigging.
I mean,
Maybe?
jury rigging would still fly.
Yeah, that'll
I'll
work
give
well.
it to you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Cool. At the moment, I tell
one more,
Hammer,
you only rolled 2
Mark,
there.
can you hold this button down for a sec?
Shoot. What was it? It was control engineering.
Mhm.
Marek, if you don't hold this button, the ship's going to explode in 5 seconds. Please press the button.
Kayla's.
Ah.
All right, I'll trying to figure out how do I want to adjudicate this. So Marak is of course distracted. He's holding down whatever button you want him to hold down, but let's say this, Solaris, you're gonna get through to the Phoenix, but you only get 5 words. Literally 5 words.
Cardassian on board, send aid.
That was great.
And you're gonna get back 5 words is black hole, too close, good, and then that you don't get the rest. You just get good.
Good.
Good. Be like, good.
But at this point,
Okay.
Marak's like, hold on, why am I holding down this button?
Because of this. And I'm going to hit him.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a daring into security. The difficulty
shit.
is 1. But as a reminder, the more successes you get on this, the harder it is for him to resist. So you may wish to spend momentum. You may want to give me threat. Give yourself more dice here, kind of a thing.
Can I assist?
If you tell me how.
Well, Keela would be nearby helping with the distraction. And when she sees Shraz whack this guy, she's going to kick off whatever and just like completely like full body tackle this man.
I'll
I'm
let
gonna
you
hold
assist
on
with
to
your
it too,
own
just
daring
in case.
security. I remember you're rolling the 1.
Right, I'm going to just keep the dice. We're going to keep 1 momentum just in case.
Using the
Yes.
momentum. All right.
No applicable forces because I am.
I don't have any.
Actually, did I do this right? So it was. What was it again?
Daring.
and security.
That's the one.
Daring. Security. 1D. No focus.
All right, that's okay. So he's going to need 3 successes here in order to succeed. I'll tell you what, to give him a sporting chance, I'm going to give him... Let's give him 2 additional dice. Let's make this interesting. And, okay, this is interesting because he's only going to get 2, which means you guys are going to succeed. But there's also a complication on his part. So let's flavor
Who's
it
the
this way.
cane?
And of course, you guys can move in and add flavor too as well. But what I'm picturing is as Shraz is doing kind of the Kirk punch up, it knocks Marak into the air a little bit. And then Keela kind of comes in and slams him against a wall. And as he tries to resist and like flail back, he actually ends up catching his arm on one of the kind of like jutting out bits of metal that are around the warp core. Just, one of the levers, one of the things you were using to adjust the warp core, and it tears his suit open. So now he
the
no longer
turntables.
has a sealed environmental suit. And you
Knock
do
him out.
have him currently in your grasp, so I have to ask an important question. Do you just want to grapple him, or do you actually want to do stress damage to him? Because there's a difference there.
Grapple, just in case he wants to try to teleport away. You're attached to him. I don't know how easy it is to get like to separate.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Keela, you are locked onto this man. Like maybe you have him in, maybe not like a classic chokehold, but you've got like you're behind him, you're holding him in place.
Or
et cetera.
whatever.
Yeah. But as he kind of flails about, he goes, "Well played, Starfleet. That was a move worthy of a Cardassian or a Romulan." Good. Very good. Very good. I see we're at an impasse then. What would you suggest we do?
How
Hold him.
about you go away?
No, hold it for now. I'm going to quickly go to the computer and try to get this thing working again,
Okay.
so we can get away from the warp, to get closer to our ship.
Black hole.
The black hole.
Away from the black hole, yeah.
Away from
Yeah.
yeah. Go ahead and give me, because again, it's what you're doing. The computer's off. You're only under a little bit of pressure. Give me a control engineering difficulty of 2.
Why control? Can I use that momentum?
Yes.
Thank you. Yay!
There's the 2 you need. So yeah, you are able to reboot the computer without the Cardassian AI being a factor. And what you're going to notice immediately is that 50% of the cargo has been beamed away. But the good news is that they haven't beamed the weapons away yet, meaning that if you really wanted to, you could put up shields and stop the transport.
Putting up shields so he can't even get transported out. Yeah, shields are going in, and I'm gonna.
So as the lights flicker back to the computer core, as the screens flicker back on, you type in a few commands, and again, there's no physical change in the environment, but after a moment, Marak kind of deflates a little bit and says, "Again, well played. I perhaps should have come over here with guards."
Yeah, you were stupid for that.
No teasing the hostage.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm setting coordinates, and then I'm gonna say let's just go. Can we go impulse still, or no?
I would say you would have thrusters if not impulse. So yeah, you could start to move away from the black hole.
Yeah, we'll start doing that. And while that's happening, you hold him. Can we actually secure him?
I have a question. Since
his
his suit was like it's no longer functional, is he floating as well, or does his magnet still work? Like his
I'll tell you
boots.
what, let's roll a challenge dice. If I roll an effect, his boots no longer work either. Okay, his boots still work.
Okay.
Okay,
'Cause I was just wondering if we were both floating in the air.
Well, you're not
Did
anymore.
he breathe in the gas too, or did that?
That stopped when
that
everything
did
stopped.
stop.
But did
when you
it
turned off the-
dissipate, or is it?
Oh, that's a fair point. It is still around.
Ooh.
That means.
Oh, and the computers did just kick back on.
But
Tell you what, I'll roll
fire.
another challenge dice. If it's in effect, he breathes in some of the gas. Alright, he doesn't breathe any of the gas out.
Okay, let's just secure him.
Okay,
There's
And
gravity now.
I'll come over and help secure him,
Yeah, Keela will.
or maybe I'll take his cane so he can't get away.
Oh, Keela will actually.
Take his disruptor away at least.
Yeah, I
Keela
guess that's
will
important
use-
too.
Keela will use the cane and put him in a spot where she can use the cane to block him in, and then she will instruct TM to like sit in front of him, and she'll say guard.
And I'll
She's-
take
Is that
she's
Scooby-Doo
taught him.
salute?
Yeah, and I'll take his disruptor away.
And then if he tries to do anything, TM will aggressively growl because
Alright.
they've taught tricks.
Now we're going to reverse what we did at the start of the session, and now we're going to fix the warp core.
Excellent, I love that.
Right, so the
Oh,
good
look.
news here is that it's not going to be as hard to turn it back on because you fixed the computer problem. So it's only going to be a difficulty of 2, but the complication range is going to increase to 16 to 20.
All right. Is it still daring or not daring anymore?
It would be control engineering in this instance.
All right. Who's better at control?
Mine's 9.
8.
Wow.
Oh,
Look, none of us want to be in charge. That's why we're engineers.
All right. I will then do it again. All right.
I thought command was in charge versus
I don't
control.
know. We'll take control of me.
Control is how you can deal in a situation that's under control.
Ah,
Oh,
all I can
okay.
think of is Yoda going control. You must learn control.
Yeah. All right. Who wants to you're okay. All right. Kilo, keep guard.
Yes, sir.
Gemma, Solaris,
Mhm.
assist. We're gonna get this warp core working. right.
Copy that.
Control, engineering. I don't have any thing. All right. That's it.
And just no, I do see that complication. I do see it. Yep.
I've got Starfleet protocol still applies.
I would say it does, yeah. Because again, you're
Excellent.
starting up the warp core as designed.
Got the book right here.
All
Boom!
right, there's the 2 you need. Let's see if you get anything on the assist.
So it's just 1 die on
Just
assist?
the
Mhm.
1, correct.
Do I have a focus? Are we starting something?
I think in this instance, you probably don't have a focus.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, so that
Yeah.
actually gets you a point of momentum. So, good news first. You do get the warp core back up and running, and energy begins to restore to the rest of the ship. However, the complication is that there's going to be just this momentary blip when the matter meets the antimatter for the first time. That, because it's an older model, it's actually going to negate the shielding around engineering for just a moment. And that
Oh.
moment is all Maroc needs to beam away. So unfortunately, Maroc's going to beam away. But after a moment, you have full control of your ship again.
We have a recurring villain.
How are the dilithium crystals looking?
Well,
Does
that's sort of the neutral news. Is, I mean, they're intact. They can maybe get another couple light years, but they could really use some replacement, if you know what I mean.
It's a good thing that I happened to, find this. Actually, it's it'll do in a pinch. I'll have to make it work, but it's I think it's crushed dilithium.
Where do you even find that?
You don't want to know.
Yeah.
See, now I want to know.
Don't ask. Never ask. I've asked before. I do not never want to know again. All right.
My answer will change every time, and it's up to you to decide if you believe me or not. Just probably better off not asking.
I'm gonna set up a station to steer the ship just manually for a little bit, just so we can get this out of place without any complications.
All
So
right,
as you
I'll
all are
get to
winding
work on those
down,
crystals.
yeah, as you install the new crystals, as you get manually, I think you're actually going to get finally a stable communication back to the Phoenix. And the captain, in her hilariously bad French accent, is going to say, this is Captain STA, reaching away Team 1. How are you doing? Was a little touch and go there for a little bit.
It was very touch and go. Unfortunately, we have had a Cardassian encounter.
That
with a-
would explain the Cardassian freighter that is flying away.
Yes, we might want to try to stop it because it's got 50% of the cargo. Fortunately,
Say
it does not
again,
have
you
any
say 50% of cargo?
50% of
Apparently
cargo.
now Russian.
You're French Russian.
We're rushing to catch up.
Their plan was
Hey,
to
there you go.
their plan was to disable the shields before the wormhole, the black hole, and take as much cargo as possible, including the weapons, which they have unfortunately missed. So we have them, and take it to their own colony.
And there's a pause. And if this were a moment in the show, we'd kind of cut back to the bridge where you'd see Astia like sitting in her chair, stroking her chin in thought, and she says, "You say they did not take the weapons, yes?"
I'm pretty sure that yes. From what I can see, they did not.
Oh my God, what if they sent someone else on board to arm the weapons?
Well, I was wondering if that would ever occur to someone. Solaris, now that thought goes through your mind and you check, yeah, those photon torpedoes are armed. They're going to detonate in 1 minute.
Disabling shields. Does this have a teleport system?
Yeah, can we teleport them out
Transport
into...
system? Yep.
Hey, let me check on that with my transporter ability.
So Solaris, I'll tell you what, if you give me a momentum and a threat, because I believe you have the one momentum, if you give me a momentum and a threat, we can say that the transporters of the cargo vessel are operational.
Take it.
Okay. So now becomes the second question I have to ask is, do you want to take anything with you? I mean, obviously, yourself, Solaris, Keela, Shraz, and TM, you're all going to beam away just fine. But did you want to take anything else from the cargo vessel before it blows up?
Oh, I just meant teleport the weapons into the black
Oh,
hole.
if you want to do that, that'll require a roll, but that is possible.
I'd
can
like to
assist.
try,
Okay.
because I don't want this cargo to go to waste for a colony that could need it.
And the ship is very useful.
All right, so let me break it down because this is something you're going to have a focus for. This is what Solaris is designed to do. So this is going to be a control engineering. The ship will assist you, and I'll do the ship assist roll because I've got the stats for it. But let me break it down. So initially it would be 2 difficulty, but your target is not on a transporter pad, so the difficulty goes up to a 3. The destination is not a transporter pad because you're beaming it out into space. That's now a difficulty of 4. And remember,
Oh,
you do have determination here. You may wish to spend it.
And you can use the 1 momentum still.
Well, no, the momentum in the threat is to enable the transport system to begin with.
Oh, right.
Can any of us assist, or
If
as
you
well,
tell me
or-
how.
Like, help me calculate
Yes,
the point in space.
Yes, I can help you calculate the point in space and get the transporters adjusted properly and stuff. I also have the transporters and replicators.
All right, so you're assisting with your own control engineering at a difficulty, or you rolling the 1 die. And
Yep,
yes,
1
Lars,
die.
do you want to buy dice with momentum? Do you want to use your determination?
We don't have
Use
any momentum
determination.
left.
Oh, yeah, we have no momentum.
You would have to give a
Determination.
threat, so you can't give me threat to buy additional dice.
I still have a determination, though, right?
You do.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I definitely want to use my determination.
Okay.
What
Which
value
value?
can you use for it?
Um. Oh God.
I know it's always the hardest part.
Let me see what you have.
Wait. I'm just because I'm confused. This isn't challenging my value. This is just
Using
what can I
it.
use?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Can I a variation of waste not, want not? I don't want any of this product of like the remaining cargo to go to waste because it can be used for others. So I want to
Preserve it.
use that value to get rid of the weapons. Even as I say it, I'm like,
No, trust me. I've heard many different justifications for values, and that was a middling one. I'd take it.
okay.
I think that's valid. You don't want the rest of it to go to waste.
Yeah.
You're protecting it.
Yes.
Now that's going to start you with 2 free successes. Do you want to buy more dice with momentum or with threat, or do you want to just roll the 2 with the assist?
We need 4.
You do need 4 successes, correct?
So we have 3 dice right now that we can play around with. So we need
So-
2 more.
Wait. It's only a difficulty of 4, right?
Mhm.
Yes, and we've got 2 spent, so we only need 2 more. And we've got me and you doing 2 dice. So we've got 3 dice that we're rolling right now.
I'm really confused. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
So, yeah.
Because I normally roll 2 dice anyway, and then
Correct.
using that determination gives me 3, and then if
It's-
you're assisting, that's 4.
The determination doesn't give you an extra dice. It gives you 1
Oh.
automatic success.
2 automatic
That's-
successes.
That's where I
2.
messed up.
Yeah.
So all
I've
we
already-
need to do is get 2.
I've already given him a threat.
It would
What do
be
you guys
2
think?
more threat to roll 3 dice here.
What
I
do you
think
guys
we might be okay if we roll.
Okay. Let's see. What did they say? No.
I think this is the pivotal
Yes.
moment. This is the important roll to see whether or not you save the freighter or not.
I hate this. Okay.
There you go. That's already 5 successes. For giggles, let's see what the assist is. All right, so now I'll have the assist. But no, with 5 successes, you actually get momentum back. And Solaris, why don't you flavor your little victory here? Well, what is there anything special you do as the torpedoes beam away? Does it beam anywhere special? Like, give us a little bit there. I'm curious to what you have in mind.
So with my transporter learning and knowledge, I have gotten very skilled and using Shraz's calculations on where in space to go. I have managed to, get them all in one go and calculate where they go so they make a really cool pattern. And then as they explode, it's just like, those shaped fireworks that you get like a pattern or something out of it.
Mhm.
That's what it's going to look like.
Is it gonna wait? Do you want it to say anything? Like you lose or something?
No, I don't want to be that cocky. No. It's going to be like it's just going to be like a cool it's going to be the shape of our delta.
There you go.
As they explode.
As soon as we send them out, I'll put the shields back up straight away.
Okay.
Yeah. So you beam it out into space. There's that cool Starfleet Delta symbol as they explode, and after a moment, the captain comes back on and says, "Well, I have many questions about the. I still don't know what accent this is, but we're going to roll with it. I have questions about what just happened, but let us say that good job, good job."
Good.
Don't worry, sir. We have just as many
Good.
questions and a few answers. A few.
And what we see, if we go to an exterior view, we sort of see the Antares-class freighter. After a moment, the Phoenix comes in from off-screen, flips around, and begins escorting it out into space. But I think that is where we'll end today's session, because it was a two-parter. I know we have time constraints, and I want to give people ample time to get where they need to go. But what did you guys think? Was that a satisfactory end and cool setup for later?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have our arch nemesis.
So how is his name spelt?
Yeah.
His name is spelt M-R or M-A-R
Mhm.
apostrophe O-C-K, Marak.
Okay. I
Okay.
was so wrong.
I did M-I-R-A-K.
Oh, I went M-E-R. I don't remember what else I did.
Cool.
I mean, as long as you get the syllables and they sound right, whatever
It's
works
fine.
for you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Escaped. Possible recurring villain.
I just find it hilarious that like we're all engineers and we're like roped into this diplomatic conversation. It's like this is not what we signed up for.
I've got some skill in negotiation. It's fine.
I do too. If these fit, look. I do
Just
not
that
have any
Kurt
skills
punch
with these
followed by
fists.
Kilo. That was a good moment. But yeah,
Yeah.
before I sign off the video and we do Twitch rating and all that, what sort of mission do you guys want next? Do you want something more engineering, less diplomatic? Do you want something more science? Do you want something where you're just talking to one another for, however long? What sort of mission or what sort of episode do you want next time?
We did a nice big engineering / social one this time.
Engineering and social?
No,
Yeah, I
this
like
time we
that.
did engineering to diplomatic. Maybe science and maybe I don't know. I'm
Maybe
good
we
at science too.
Do some like a little bit of hangout and get our characters to know each other a little more.
Mhm.
And others on the ship, and then maybe like a catastrophe on the ship.
Yeah,
I
but we're
don't know.
lower decks. It's not our problem.
Yeah, it's a typical ship breaks down in space, you have to fix it kind of a thing.
And we find coffee cups,
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
I find the person on the board who still drinks coffee and I'm going to remove coffee.
I'm going
from
to
this.
use my replicator skill and just take that off of the
Take
menu.
that off.
maybe some science so we can maybe try and figure out what TM is.
Or
if that's
track.
something.
Do some
Yeah.
stuff.
I love
It'd be good to meet some of the crew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the crews for
Chan-
sure.
Chance to find some other random objects.
More chance for me to butcher God knows what accent those were,
That's cool.
Listen,
It's
I
great.
could do like 5 seconds of French, and then it goes Russian, and then it maybe gets a little bit of
Pennsylvanian?
Arnold, and it just
Maybe something's wrong with our
your communicator.
translator. Yeah. It's
The
just like,
frequency of the captain's voice just messes with the translator.
Yeah.
Clearly. All right. One other thing before we sign off is, if I have my notes correctly, it's the 16th we have to take off, but then we have the 23rd, or do I have that reverse?
16th is off.
Okay.
23rd is up in
Iffy.
the air for now. I'll
All right.
let you know.
Okay. So what that'll mean then, for everybody listening at home, is that we will be off on the 16th. The 23rd, we'll play it by ear. And then the 30th and the 6th, same kind of thing there. I think the 30th we have people out. So it might be something where we just do a 2-3 week break. But don't worry, we're not going to go anywhere. We will be returning to this. But yeah. With that, I'm going to turn off for YouTube, but Twitch stick around because we're going to raid somebody.